Hello there, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph and I am the host of this show. We'll be doing an episode of favorites tonight. I'm trying out something a little bit different, a little bit new. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this a regular show or just do it periodically here for favorites, but I'm going to try and do all 30 bands that are in my top 30 bands. But this is basically going to be my top 10 favorite deep cuts from these bands. So that means basically songs that didn't get a lot of radio play, weren't hit singles, weren't released as singles, all that type of stuff. So there's songs on the album that I think are really good, that just really didn't get the kind of notoriety that you'd expect. Now, there'll be a few here that people who are fans of the band will probably know all of these songs, and then people who like some stuff by the band but generally only listen to the radio won't know any of this stuff. So anyways, the band we're going to do tonight is this band, Black Sabbath. I chose this album to represent them because I think it is kind of evil looking. Evil, but really well done. It's a fantastic cover to a really good album, really. So anyways, we're going to talk about my 10 favorite deep cuts from Black Sabbath. We're going to do this the way I normally do these kind of things, which is my least favorite of the 10 to my most favorite of the 10, or worst to first, if that's what you prefer. And we'll be doing this, and I'll also give you the honorable mentions. So basically, I picked out all the songs that I think are really good deep cuts from the band, and then I rank them according to how I like them, and then the ones that were left over we'll mention as honorable mentions. So we're going to start with the number 10 song, which comes off this album, Volume 4. So for those of you who follow me, you know that Volume 4 is one of 7 masterpiece albums in my masterpiece list for Black Sabbath. This is a great album, lots of really good stuff on it. The song that I chose as my deep cuts, I avoided some of the more known songs here, songs like Supernaut and Tomorrow's Dream and Snowblind and stuff like that. I actually I could have ignored this one too, but I thought it's known by Black Sabbath fans for sure and people who like metal, but I don't necessarily think it's a well-known Black Sabbath song. And I'm going with, for number 10, we're going with Cornucopia. Yeah, that number 7 track here. I like this song. It's really gritty. It sounds to me like a very Sabbath song. Like when I hear this is definitely a doom metal type song, but really great. So it's going to be my number 10 on the list. So next up is my, obviously will be my number 9. And that comes off an album that kind of has mixed feelings. A lot of people have kind of mixed feelings about this particular song. About this particular album. Just trying to find it. Here it is. But I like it because after my first encounter with Black Sabbath, which was with Heaven and Hell, I started going back in the discography, and this was the first one I purchased because it was on sale, cheaper than any of the other ones. And when you are a teenager with not a lot of money, you grab what you can get. And I chose this album. Black Sabbath's Never Say Die is the album. The song that I'm going to go with today is Johnny Blade. Second track in. I like the kind of riveting, kind of fast-pacedness of the song, the kind of angry feel that it has, and that kind of keyboard sound that's going on here as well, or synthesizer sound, probably a better choice in it. But always liked this song. I loved it when I was a kid. I still like it. It's never faded out for me. So it's going to be my number 9 song today. So next up, number 8 is coming from Ian Gillan version of Black Sabbath, which is Born Again. one of the more evil-looking covers, maybe a little bit kind of cheesy in a way as well, but I kind of like the cover. I like almost all the tracks on this album. I decided to pick this one as my number 8, and it's the third song in, Disturbing the Priest. Really evil song, and Gillan really brings out that part in it, I think, in my opinion. This is as Black Sabbath album as you can get. It doesn't really sound like Ozzy era or the Dio era, but definitely has that evil feel to it, and Gillan's voice is fantastic for this song. So Disturbing the Priest, the third track in, is going to be my number 3. My number 8. Number 7. So we're dropping down to the most well-known Sabbath album. Probably their most well-known stuff is on this album. This is Black Sabbath, Paranoid. Now, I know a lot of people love those big tracks on here, and they've got some heavy ones, but I chose a song that is actually not generally liked a lot by Sabbath fans, but I like it because of its psychedelic feel. I like the kind of darkness to the song. I love the vocals here by Ozzy Osbourne. I'm going with, for number 7 here, Planet Caravan. I just did a video on Planet Caravan recently, and so I'm giving some more love to a song that I quite like. And I initially didn't like. There was a couple songs on this album I didn't like. That one and Electric Funeral were basically the two I didn't really care for, but I've grown to like them both a lot. They've got a lot of difference to them than a lot of other Sabbath songs. So that's my number 7, Planet Caravan. Number 6, coming off Master of Reality. Arguably the best. To me, it's the best of the Ozzy-led era Black Sabbath albums, and has a multitude of fantastic stuff on it. But the song we're going to go with, number 6 here, is After Forever. And maybe one of the first kind of speed metal songs. I love the pounding of this song. I love Ozzy's vocals. I love the lyrics of this song. When I first heard this, I thought, this is amazing. This song is amazing. So that's my number 6, After Forever, from Black Sabbath's Masters of Reality, coming here at number 6. Next up, the number 5. We're getting to the top 5 now. Comes off an album that really I had a long time before I made it a masterpiece. It's one of the last, I think it is the last Sabbath album I made a masterpiece. I love this album now, but back then I kind of liked the stuff that went on the radio a lot. Things like Turn Up the Night and Voodoo and of course The Mob Rules. But those tracks to me aren't as good as this song, which is my number 5, Sign of the Southern Cross. This is very majestic in a lot of ways, dark, heavy, and the vocals are great. The guitar riffing is fantastic on this song. And then we're going to go with number 4, which is also on this album, is a song called Country Girl. I think it's my favorite song on the album. Maybe initially I didn't care as much for it, but it's over the years I've warmed up. I love the pounding of this song. It's kind of a different song for Black Sabbath. And Dio's voice is fantastic as always on this. So that's my number 4, Country Girl. Number 3, we're going to move on to my favorite Sabbath album, which is Heaven and Hell. I think this is their best album. It's my first album, so maybe I'm a little biased in that thing. The songs that were hits on this, of course, or were well known, are songs like Neon Nights, the title track Heaven and Hell, and Die Young. Those were the big ones that got kind of airplay and were singles. But my favorite track on this album is Wishing Well. It's not only is it my favorite track on this album, it's also my favorite. It's also my third favorite deep cut. So Wishing Well, the opening track on the second side, fast-paced, heavy, drums are really good, vocals are great, guitar is really good. There's a kind of a windy type guitar solo, which is fantastic. So that's my number 3. Number 2, we're going back to Master of Reality here. I can just find it. for my number 2. This is a song that a lot of people don't talk about. I like it. It's dark, it's depressing, it's malevolent, and it's also easy to listen to. And I'm talking about Solitude, the number 7 track here. The longest track on the album, coincidentally, but it's a very mild song in a lot of ways, not really that heavy at all, but I've always kind of liked it. And it's now probably my favorite song on this album, Solitude, from Master of Reality. And then the number 1 track, which I wasn't even sure I was going to include this track because I think it got some airplay on the radio. It's quite well loved by Black Sabbath fans. It's very heavy, very heavy riffing, very metalish sounding track. And I like this album a lot. I could have picked any one of a 2 or 3 songs on here. And maybe this song is a little bit too well known for deep cuts, but I'm going with it as my number 1, Killing Yourself to Live. It's a grinding track. I just absolutely love it. I still love it when I play it. When it comes on, I crank it every time. I do like this album quite a bit, but that is to me the pinnacle. Maybe Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is just as good in some ways, but I think Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is a radio-friendly track that gets played a fair number of bits when they're playing Sabbath stuff. This one, not as much, and that's why I chose it as my deep cut number 1 song, Killing Yourself to Live. So now I'm going to give you some of the honorable mentions here for this. So the 1 track off of the debut album, could have picked any of them. They're all fairly unwell known, but I went with it's not even on here. Oh, here it is. Behind the Wall of Sleep, which actually is The Wasp, comes from The Wasp, but it's a part in the song is called The Wasp, but Behind the Wall of Sleep is one of the parts in it, or you could go with NIB, but Behind the Wall of Sleep is the part I like the best, and so I'm going to go with that as an honorable mention. Other honorable mentions off of it's hard to keep these things out in order once you started using them. So off of this album, we're going to also go with Hand of Doom. Great heavy track. I wouldn't call it a metal track, definitely a hard rock track for sure. You could even throw Jack the Stripper in there if you want, or Fairies Wear Boots, but I like Hand of Doom as well. Next up from Volume 4, so let me find it. Here it is right at the bottom here. So Volume 4 has a couple of other tracks that I think are really good deep cuts. Didn't quite make my list, but deserve mention. Snowblind, really good heavy track. And then, of course, Laguna Sunrise is kind of different. It's an acoustic bit, and I've always been a sucker for acoustic guitar bits by guitar players that are generally hard rock guitar players. I like all the Steve Howe stuff, of course. I like the Rick Emmett stuff, but this song, really good. Laguna Sunrise. Others include National Acrobat, which comes off of the Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album, which was where my number 1 was. I like this song. It's the longest track on here. It has a kind of a different flavor to it. It's not really a heavy metal song. This album is very different. It's even though it's a dark, has some real heavy stuff on it. It has some stuff that's very different for Sabbath, and National Acrobat is one of those tracks. Then we're going to move to the two last tracks. We'll start with this one off of the Black Sabbath Born Again album. We'll go with the title track here, Born Again. Love his voice in here. I could have picked half of the dozen songs off of this album, but the 2 I picked I like the most. So Born Again. And the last deep cut I'm going to go with is off of this album. Follows Johnny Blade in the record list. It's also the longest track on the album, Junior's Eyes. Kind of like this song. I always kind of like the vocal part by it. So those are my deep cuts and some honorable mentions. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know if you think this is a good idea. Maybe I should do this with other bands, or you think a one-off with Sabbath is good enough. you can put that in there as well. Please hit the like and subscribe again, like I said, and we will see you all next Wednesday night for another look back at a classic rock album.